it was just like a big, deep breath. We are here, we're doing the job. We've scored the goals, we've done what we need to do to win the game. Finally, when the final whistle blew after OT, it was like, I was like at tears. You know, even during the game, I was at tears, like, what is going on? Like, we're getting the job done, we're doing it, you know, and it's still kind of surreal that we are here now.
In the cold rain, in the snow, they came out to support the team. I've faced a lot of challenging years here in Toronto, and the fans never wavered. 10 years later, now we're hosting the MLS Cup and we're playing at it. It's a dream come true.
Is that same around the club, that we want to be the best? And we want to stay there as well. We don't just want it to be a one-off occasion.
And the Montreal series really made it so that anybody who in Canada thought that Major League Soccer couldn't be something big or wasn't big time enough, they can't say that anymore.
When that final whistle blew at BMO Field, you could feel a collective weight drop off the shoulders of the city of Toronto. For a club that's been through more pain than joy over the 11 years since their founding, they've been through some tough times, but that's about to change. Hosting the first MLS Cup in Canada and representing a huge step forward, not only for this club and MLS, but for the growth of the sport in the country. Yo, what's up, man? Congrats, man.
We have our first professional team here, and it was, as soon as I seen that, I was like, I want to play on this team. I want to play pro in my city. And from there, just a lot of us just put our head down and just grinded every single day to make it come true. And then it finally happened. It builds a different kind of fire inside you, you know, because everything you do is that you're playing for your city, for where you live and grew up, where your family lives, where your friends live. So it's more than just playing for a club. It's just the whole passion behind it. It's like, this is, your city is in your blood, basically. For me, I know nothing more than just Toronto, because it's part of me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, maple latte life. Yeah.
Always Canadian maple. Always.
This game's gonna be freezing. I'm already dying out. We're just walking around town. But you grew up in this, right?
Yeah. I remember playing for Team Ontario. We had to, for our warm up, they actually gave us shovels to shovel the 18-yard box outside in December in the snow. It was like the craziest thing. We were just like, what are we doing outside? Why are we doing this? And they, of course, would say, this will make you tougher. You appreciate this later on in your life. It's like.
Meanwhile, I'm in California, like, it's a little rainy outside. I think this is more of like an indoor day. I looked this up before I got here. I think you have the most appearances for the club right now?
Yeah.
You crossed 100 last season, right?
Yeah, last season was the first in club history, so that was
25 years old.
Yeah, that was exactly.
2012 was that year. I think you guys started 09, right?
Yeah, it was that was a dark time for the team, the city. One time the fans were chanting "Let's go Blue Jays" during the game, and back in 2012, and that was hard. That was hard.
DC United victorious 3-1 over Toronto FC. Toronto is now 0-9. And for Aaron Vinner and Toronto FC, the search continues for success in MLS.
For me, it was just a learning curve as a young guy, and just helped me grow and know what it feels like to lose games and how to rebound and come back and to become, you know, a winner in a winning environment. Especially the last couple seasons, I felt we've won our fans back. They have been the best 12th man a team could ask for. I feel Toronto is a serious sports team and sports city, you know, and the last couple of years for the Leafs, you know, Blue Jays especially, and Raptors, they've been making it far in the playoffs and making playoff runs, you know. Now it's our turn as well. So what we are doing now is only helping the city, the province, the country. You know, I feel a lot of kids now could realize like they can play in Canada, play pro. You don't need to go overseas to play.
People don't realize how rich of a football and knowledgeable of a football community Toronto and Canada really is. I never knew how to skate growing up. I played floor hockey, believe it or not, but in my community, most of us are immigrants, right? First generations. So soccer was a sport. Soccer,
You're from
cricket.
Guyana. Your parents from Guyana.
Guyana, yeah. So it was soccer, cricket, and everyone, and you know, everyone in the community, that's what they played. You know, it's so diverse, it's so multicultural, and every culture has their own leagues, their own programs. So it's very rich, and that's what I grew up in Scarborough. You know, I remember in my apartment, every single neighbor was from places that I never even heard. Like, I knew about Afghanistan before anything. You know, I knew about Sri Lanka and Somalia, and they love their culture so much because they're free to express their culture so much. You have to have a sense of national pride, and I think that's what sports helps to magnify and create in a diverse culture and society like Toronto.
Are you out there teaching guys the D-row dance after your goal celebration?
No. Well, some of them actually could. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are actually better than me. I'm a little stiff in the hips now, but.
So I got to admit, man, when I was in Chicago, before I even came to Houston, I was always hyping D-row, everything, because I was like, I just loved your game.
Thank you.
And the guys in the team used to give me some stick because they were like, "Are you gonna get his jersey at halftime before the game?" I never got a jersey, man. So
oh really? You never asked?
I know. But I think it was because I was looking over my shoulder at people giving me. But yeah, we'll have to do a jersey change now.
Not a problem.
Or maybe I can get hooked up with some
Dufagir. Yeah, not a problem. I could hook you up.
All right, cool. D-row and Canada, synonymous in MLS. You really carried the torch for your country, really, in the league. Now you see a lot of young players emerging, whether it's Osorio here in Toronto, or you've got Ashton Morgan's another guy in the club as well. And what's it like to see this next young wave of Canadian players in MLS kind of carry that legacy forward?
Oh, it's great, and I hope they take it further than I did. I'd love to see them take Canada to a World Cup. It's something that I tried and fought tirelessly trying to do, and with TFC's success, that creates more of opportunities that young kids like them and these kids that I have here have more opportunity to see the game firsthand, to learn more about the game at a younger age.
What made you want to finish training and then start a program for inner city kids to learn how to play soccer?
Well, because I'm an inner city kid, first and foremost, and grew up with a single parent, so I know how much sport paid an impact in my life. When I look across the league, and I don't see a lot of players they're starting their own academies and stuff and being involved, they should do more.
I think you have 4 MLS Cups, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 4 MLS Cups, 2 goals in MLS Cup as well.
Yeah, coming home and playing for your hometown was amazing. I'm still proud to say I won the first Canadian Cup for them back to back, and was able to share still special moments despite a very 2 or 3 rough seasons with the club. I always gotta say it, man. Tim Lewicki's an amazing man. When certain people talk in a certain way, he's like, wait, this guy is either crazy or he's for real. Right. And I thought he was both. and it shows, it's testament to today, because everybody here thought the same thing, right? Like, this guy crazy, wants to build another section onto the stadium. But he told me, he goes, Daryl, I'm telling you right now, between me and you, we're going to have a successful team in Toronto before any other team. Look at what we have today. We changed the culture and the mindset of the club, of the organization. He had a vision, and it's coming to life.
Hey, we don't all get to play an MLS Cup, but I'll take this. This is the closest I'm going to get these days. Landon made a comeback. This is my chance.
How you doing, man? You okay? Good to see you too.
Yeah, thanks for letting me hop in, man.
No worries. This was part of the plan.
May 12th, 2007.
Yes.
That date's got to mean something to you.
No, it means a hell of a lot to me. It means not only a lot to me, but I think to the club as well. I think it was the day that we kind of finally put our club on the map.
Ball forward again. The crowd on their feet is coming right through Dicchio! And finally, remember the name, remember the date. The fans have gone wild because this is the very first goal ever scored by Toronto FC in Major League Soccer. Number 9, 6'3", Danny Dicchio.
You had to stop for a second. We had to stop for longer than a second because it was about 8 and 10 minutes to pick up the seat cushions.
Yes.
But I had to turn around and be like, man, what is happening here? Like with the crowd.
I really go back to that day. It could have been anyone, I bundled it in. It wasn't a fantastic goal, but it was a real meaningful goal that I'm so happy I scored.
I remember that moment. You guys gone on the road and lost 4 straight, first game at BMO Field. There were dark times too, though. Long years, losing seasons.
Yep.
Danny Coverman's comment saying, set the record for the worst club in the world, I think.
Well, they went on that run of, I think it was 9 or 10 games without a win or without a result, I think.
Name me one team in the whole world who was 0-9. So that's what I was referring to. There's not one team in the world who lost 9 times in a row.
Is this one of the most frustrating times in your career?
Yes.
That was probably the pinnacle of the dark times era, and we finally got out of it a couple of years ago. We wanted to bring a winning mentality in all aspects. Success is going to come. It's going to come from us within. We're not going to point fingers when stuff don't happen, whether it be in the academy, whether it be in the first team, TFC2. We're all in this together, and we have to make it work.
24th minute comes around. What do I hear? Danny Dicchio, the song, yeah. And I was like, oh, because I think MLS has a lot of new fans. But it was cool for me to see, oh wait, no, the knowledge base of the supporters group here is honoring the, where they started as well.
Yes, no, I'm obviously very humbled by the song that they keep singing about me. And
it's every game.
Every game, all the heartache, and even the final whistle against Montreal the other night, there was a lot of emotion in the stadium. There was a little tear in my eye as well that we'd finally done it.
This is like, I feel like I'm in Italy right now.
Yeah.
The whole crew here going through being like, ciao Bella, like, this place is amazing. Yeah. How'd you find out about this place?
I mean, it's well known in Toronto that Giovinco maybe doesn't prefer Tim Hortons coffee or Starbucks like you or I. He walks over here almost daily, gets an espresso, heads back home to be with the family, and it's almost like he's back home. With TFC becoming something bigger than they already were this year, I think his notoriety's grown and it's going to continue to grow.
Talking about Toronto FC in MLS Cup is a little bit crazy still for me, because they were the laughingstock for a while of, the 0-9 starts.
There was a time when the franchise was in the gutter and there were a new coach every year and new players every year, and one of the worst teams in MLS history. Fans literally protesting outside the gates where the coaches leave the stadium saying, we don't want you here anymore. Toronto, what I've found is if you have success, if you have good players on the field, they're going to support you. I think you can tell by the tickets selling out in like 30 seconds or whatever that this city supports all of its teams, and that's what makes it special. The interest has been incredible. Tim Lewicki, the ex-MLSE CEO here, who brought Giovinco, Altidore, and Bradley here, he once said that if Toronto FC could get to an MLS Cup, it would be one of the biggest sporting events in this city, and people would be in disbelief. I didn't believe him, but I don't know how you can deny that at this point with tickets selling out that fast and the interest and the demand.
You have every right to be ticked off at us. We've done a terrible job here. And we owe you an apology, and I am here to give you that apology. We have absolutely taken your trust and your passion and abused it. And for that, I'm very sorry. But let me make it real clear. We are going to get at least one, if not two, great DPs. We promise. We are going to work until we find the right ones.
Now you feel like, the play on the field and the results are matching the ambition of the club and the way they see themselves.
Yeah, it's about characters, man. It's about bringing in characters. It's about bringing in guys who know how to win. You hate to say it, but in the history of this league, not all DPs have been team guys. Not all DPs have been the kind of guy who wants to coach and help the young players along and win games instead of win for themselves, score for themselves, and so on. And I think that's one of the important elements that's missing from this story is not only have Giovinco and Altidore and Bradley contributed in a big way on the field this season, they're contributing off the field in the locker room, and they're guys that ultimately know their legacy is going to be defined by whether or not they win an MLS Cup or get to multiple MLS Cups. If they do lose the MLS Cup, I think the ride to getting here and the coverage and just showing that MLS can be something that's absolutely massive in this city, I think it's validated everything they've done. I'm getting calls from people that they're sports fans, but are they soccer fans? No, but they want to be involved. They want to be a part of the success, and they want to see that atmosphere after watching it on TV last week. So the support has been magnificent. Exactly.
Does Giovinco come here?
Yeah, not today, because Bradley come too, but not today.
Bradley too? Oh, nice.
Bradley, John. Tonight I need a win.
Tonight we need a win, TFC.
Hey! Hey! Let's go, boys! Hey! Hey!
All-star by MLS Cup, I can't get up here.
It was like a vertically thing. Like,
That was the first time I got on Jumbotron. I've like been itching for it ever since. How many NYCFC players you know doing work?
Let's get it.
Players Tribune, living that internship life, man. A man after my own hustle, man. I like that.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Look at that jacket, man. Killing it. How you doing, man? Staying warm?
going up in the suite.
Ooh, that sweet light.
Go, faster, faster, faster. Good, good. What are you doing? You're doing some movement stuff?
Yeah, doing some movement stuff, walking around, hanging out pregame, yeah.
This is the movement right here.
You heard it first.
Toronto.
You look like you just came off the slopes, or like some sort of Russian assassin or something.
Go snowboarding after this.
That's awesome. I stole this from Susanna, so, right? I feel like Lenny Kravitz though, like looks like the, is that the trophy?
Yeah, I had to put it on the Seattle section from Toronto. I don't want people to think like, oh, you're supporting TFC. So
Right.
make sure like.
Journalism. Yeah.
That's journalism, right?
That is journalism.
And it looks like for the fourth time in league history, penalties will decide it.
I never would have thought it was going to come to this, but here we are, MLS Cup 2016. Everybody is dead tired. At this point, you just have to concentrate for one more play.
Brian Schmetzer wanted Nicholas Ladero to go second. Ladero said, nope, I'm going fifth. And the newcomer of the year, who was involved in a penalty shootout in the Copa Libertadores earlier this year with Boca Juniors, needs to make this. If he misses, if Irwin saves, Toronto wins MLS Cup.
Clutch keeps him alive. Ladero, cold as ice.
How about that from Ladero? And we're going to bonus rounds. Justin Morrow, he'll be taking this in the 6th round as he begins sudden death rounds against Stephen Fry. Off the bar, and Seattle now a kick away from winning it.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts.
Roman Torres, who impressed all of us last year at the Gold Cup, but then missed an entire year with an ACL injury return.
Big man, Roman Torres, steps up, center back. He's been the man of the match for me today. Just wins it all. Seattle, MLS Cup champions. Wow. Heartbreak tonight for TFC, no doubt about it. But these fans aren't going anywhere. They've been here through 10 years of pain, still singing, still chanting, still supporting their club. Starting with Danny Dichio back 2007, first goal right here in this stadium, carried forward with guys like D-Row, and then inspired the next generation like Ashton Morgan, a young kid from Toronto who's now representing his club. And the exciting part for me is how many kids were in BMO over this magical run and been inspired by their heroes on this field tonight and wanting to represent and wear red themselves one day. They feel proud of their city, their club, and while this club hasn't fulfilled the final promise of hoisting that trophy, the future's never looked brighter.